So here we are with Barry Peatling once again, talking about the football, talking about Chelsea Seagulls. Now they went down to Karingal to play Karingal, obviously, and let's just talk now to Barry Peatling about the game on the weekend, on Saturday. We'll just ask him about the weather and also the ground conditions.
Yeah, thanks very much, Con. The weather was perfect down there. A little bit cold, but the ground was in good nick. It was a good day for football. Wasn't much breeze. I favoured on the left-hand side as you walk into the ground, but apart from perfect day for football, Con. Again.
Perfect day for football. It was a bit cold, but the rain. Was the ground damp?
No, perfect. Had a bit of rain in the last quarter, but no, it didn't affect the game at all.
Okay, so it was a good conditioned ground. Now, any changes for Chelsea?
One change. Not surprising, but Jack Gaze is brought back in for Talker. I don't know whether he's injured or not. He wasn't there on Saturday, but one change, that was all for Talker. The one change for the game.
Okay, well, let's get into the game then. Let's discuss the first half. Now, in the first quarter, this is a little bit disappointing, but Chelsea with 2 solitary points to 8 goals for Karingal. Was there a big wind or something?
No, it was. I'll tell you what the big win was Mr. Number 4 from Karingal, Brendan Lay.
And did he play for Port Adelaide?
Only 3 seasons ago, but he's assistant coach for Richmond at the moment. He gets every. We didn't play against him. I beg your pardon. They didn't have him last year. We played against him, but if I give a look back a big state, if he happened to play every game in this competition, he would kick 150 goals. Right. He kicked 4 goals in the first quarter, calling Jack Gaze.
Was he in the ruck or the forward?
No, he's full forward. They had young Jack Gaze on him in the first quarter, where he was a bit inexperienced, but they're probably doing the world a good that bit of experience. But they shifted Nathan Johnson on him after quarter time.
Yeah.
But he already kicked 4 goals, and I mean they just took over in the first quarter, and there was no answer from Chelsea. It was very disappointing.
So he dominated Brendan Lade. So by half time, Chelsea won the quarter, and there were 5 goals to Karingal's 9 goals 7.
Well, the second quarter they did go all right. They started to attack a bit, and they got Harrison, of course, Mr. 100%. But he is a freak, that fellow. And there's, of course,
Brendan Lade, you mean?
No, it's Stephen Harrison. He was on fire. He played well all day, but in the second quarter he lifted them up. Powley was going right. Lou was going. Scotty McLeod was flashing in and out, but it was a better quarter. The only good quarter for the day, Con.
Okay. So then we start the third quarter, and really Karingal took off. Chelsea 7 goals 4. Karingal had already hit the 100 mark by the end, 15 goals 11.
Took over again, of course, and the fellow, I must give a big mention for Karingal. I don't want to give them too much of a rap, Colin, but Justin Pecker, he's got to be 73, hasn't he?
Oh,
he's been around for a long time.
He'd be in his 40s, I'd say.
He's got to be in his 40s. He just controlled St Kilda. Well, he was old playing at St Kilda, I said to you before. Old when he's playing St Kilda.
Maybe that's what St Kilda needs. They need him back.
And Bevan Moore, he's got to be in his 30s too. He used to coach Mornington a few years ago. But him and of course Michael Burke, number 33. I think he was. They were just cleaning Chelsea up. They just run them off their legs.
So they had the legs where Chelsea didn't. Now the final score: Chelsea 63. 9 goals 9, and Karingal 20 goals 12, 132, so a 69-point win.
Thrashing, Colin, absolute thrashing it was, but I must admit there's a couple of little points in the last quarter, good points. Jackson Powley, he's always been a star. I'm a big fan of Jackson Powley. He had 13 or 14 possessions in the last quarter. Of course, Harrison all day. But apart from Luke Damon kicked 3 goals, played a 50, and it's one of the highlights of the day. It was his last goal, one of his last goals in the last quarter, 60 metres to win. But apart from those 5, it was very hard to pick a good player like McLeod. Nathan Johnson went in the ruck, he started right, and then Jack Gay's done right in the ruck. But apart from that, Louis was. But their disposal comp was something shocking. I don't know what's going on.
So
bad day all round.
Who were the main goal kickers? Did you mention that already?
Yeah, Luke Damon kicked 3, and of course you want to chipped in with a couple of goals, and Nizer played a fair game. I feel about Nizer. He always puts in.
Nigel, did you say?
Nizer. And who was the other Carmen? But it was a very disappointing game. It was.
Now, just with that, thinking about that, were there any good players? Were there any, being a disappointing game, was there any standouts?
Well, after Harrison, Power and Damon, I think it was pretty scarce. I mean, when you say good players, fellas got at least 10 or 15 possessions, but there's a few fellas there on Saturday who didn't have many possessions at all.
Right.
I won't mention the name, but they know. You know how when
So you won't give any negative votes,
no,
like
no.
the worst players, but have you got any votes? You want to do that now? Or?
Well, I'll give the votes now. There was
One vote.
One vote to Luke Damon.
Yes.
Played
Kicked a few goals.
Kicked 3 goals out of 9, what it was. Two votes to Jackson Powell, who had exactly 14 possessions in the last quarter. Unbelievable left that fella. Of course, Stephen Harris, he had 30 possessions again and played well all day, and he is a freak, that fella. But I think he's got a bit of a calf injury.
So he gets 3 votes, Stephen Harris.
I think he came off the last quarter with a bit of a calf injury. He had something around his calf in the rooms after the game. So
Okay.
I hope he's all right.
Well, you don't want to tell the opposition that.
No, he's pretty tough, and
we won't tell anyone. Okay. So there was some sort of glimmers of light in a fairly disappointing game. So does that mean you think that there should be wholesale changes for next week?
No, I wouldn't think. I mean, that game's it's over now. It's history. You don't dwell on the past. You've just got to get out on the training track next week and train harder and forget all about it and just treat that game as the first game of the season.
A bit of a blip on the radar.
Well, it was a bit of a bad blip, Colin, but well, most of the boys were pretty disappointed with the way it was going on, but that's football. But you've got to get over these things. Start again next week.
Is there something you think that needs to change, even a small thing, because you're saying that mostly it's okay, but...
Oh, another thing too, Colin, the disposal, my little star, Louis, he was getting the ball a bit locked, but he wasn't even disposed of properly. It must have been just a bad day all around, because our disposal the last 3 weeks, we've won by 30 goals out of the last 3 games. It's been brilliant, but
just maybe
one of them days.
Had an off day.
Hopefully it was.
Yeah. The travel.
Because Travel didn't give him too much of a blast after the game. He said, "Now you just got to those things happen." He was pretty. We didn't go crazy.
So how good is How good is Brendan Lade then?
Brendan Lade, I'll tell you what. There's a fellow called Simon Goosey used to terrorise Chelsea for 10 years, up to about 3 years ago. And this fella,
Coach of Frankston.
He was a freak. So this fella's a little bit similar to Simon Goosey. I am telling you.
Big presence.
He takes a big mark and he kicks us straight. He could have kicked 10. He gave away 2 or 3 in the last quarter.
Yeah, so he's pretty good. He could go back into the AFL almost.
Well, I don't know. He might get a game to kill him. But,
yeah.
No, I don't know how old he is. He's got to be 35, and he's 6, 7.
Oh, yeah, he'd be old, getting up there.
He was old at Port Adelaide.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move ahead. What next week? What's happening next week?
Bond Beach next week, and they've been going right too the last couple. I don't know how they went on Saturday, but they tailed up some side a couple of weeks ago. I don't know who they were, but they sound as though they're going right.
So they're a bogey team for
No, we've been going right against Bond Beach the last few years.
Okay, so
because now Shane McDonald is gone.
We pencil it in for a win.
Well, I'm not going to get too cocky now.
No.
Colin, but I do think that.
Now, just one thing before we go. You said Jack Gaze.
Look, Jack Gaze, I mean, Chappell put him on down. I was a little bit surprised he put him on down in full back, but he went down, he was a bit out of his depth. They got him, they swapped over at quarter time. But that'll do Jack Gaze a lot of experience.
Bit of a football lesson.
I will think you. I don't think you'll forget that, because he's a big boy, Jack Gaze. But this fella, he's 6'6" and he's about 16 or 17 stone.
Well, that might be good AFL experience.
He won't forget that game, because then he went in the ruck and done all right. Or done all right, compared to what he was doing earlier. But Chappell's nothing wrong with experiment. And sometimes it gets right, and sometimes it's wrong.
Okay.
But you don't worry about that. You don't want it.
We'll look forward to your next review next Monday of the Bomb Beach game. So
hopefully it'll be a little bit better interview for next week. Hopefully.
A bit more positive.
More positive thinking, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you and goodbye. It's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from me, and see you next week.